Welcome to Running Form Friday 2.0. This is Ian Adamson, Director of Research and Education at Newton Running, and we are using my gait as the example. The interesting thing about any runner is that they will typically have asymmetries, and if you watch me run from the front, you're going to see a couple of obvious things. Left hand is higher than the right. Now, without knowing the history of the runner, you're not going to know why these things happen. Turns out this originated as an ankle injury, and if you look at the right foot, it turns out compensation is on the left side. There's also a right shoulder injury, prior injury, so these things will always show up. Now, is it good or bad? It's not ideal, but on the other hand, you can't really stop what happened in the past. Let's look at the sagittal or side view. A couple of things you'll notice here is at full extension, as we move forward, the leg does have extension at the hip. This is something you're looking for, ideally up to about 22 degrees extension from the hip joint. Some people, actually most people who don't have good core strength and limited hip extension or non-compliance around the hip itself, typically will not have extension at the hip. They'll achieve getting their leg behind them, caving in at their back, rotating, bending forward, and these things make it very difficult to run efficiently. So fortunately, I have the ability to get my leg behind me without too much caving in at the lower back, which would be called lumbar lordosis. You can also see foot position. People talk a lot about heel striking. The actual position of the foot when it engages the ground is not super important, unless there's something very aggressive going on. Slight heel strike, not too bad. The thing we're looking for is where the foot loads in relation to the body. It's always going to be somewhat to the front, and as it fully loads, the body's going to come right over the foot. So if we move forward a couple of frames, what we're going to see is the shoe coming down and actually loading. This is the proprioceptive phase of gait out in front, and this is also important for all runners. We like to say try and land under your body. In reality, can't do it. So watch any runner who's not accelerating, and you'll see their foot engages the ground slightly in front. Ideally, the foot should be relaxed, so no aggressive plantar flexion, that's pointing the toes down, and no aggressive dorsiflexion, which is pointing the toes up.